So, been a while since I've done one of these. Yeah, basically, I wanted to talk about something. I was thinking, I didn't want to do a video today, it's just randomly chilling out and playing some games, and I thought, shall I do a video on this? And I thought, yeah, let's do a video on this. What am I doing a video on? You've seen the title. Basically, I wanted to talk about, story, versus online, basically single player story games, online games. Now, the game you see in the background, Red Dead Redemption 2, yes, I'm playing the online mode, but it also does have story mode, which I played twice, the background gameplay is on PS5, saved my online progress, but not my story mode progress, so I had to play through, story mode again. And when I played through it again, did a few side missions, to get, like, Friends with Benefits trophy, to do, like, the companion activity missions, and it was very good, and, that made me realise something, like, everything in story mode feels a lot different in the online mode, like, playing through story mode again, and yeah, that's the kind of thing I wanted to talk about. Now, of course, like games like GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 have both story mode and online mode, and they're kind of similar in some aspects, but also there's a few things which are kind of different, I know I said before they're kind of different, but there are still a few things similar, you still go to shops and buy things, you still, like, do missions, if not, they're not the same, missions, but there's still missions which you do where, you kill people and shit, where you do some shootouts, things like that. And yeah, that's kind of how it is. Now, in a game like COD, you have the campaign, story mode campaign, and you have single player. Now, in COD, you have the campaign where you do missions, one after the other constantly, where you have to, like, get to a specific objective, and do that shit, or do a certain task or something like that, Whereas in multiplayer, where you're around the map, you basically, if it's team deathmatch or free for all, you go around killing people, as many people as you can until you're the winner, Or, if it's domination, you capture a specific area, make sure the other team doesn't capture it, or hardpoint, you say in specific area, that kind of shit, And of course, the big difference with any story mode and online game is that, in story mode, you're against AI, in online, you're mainly against, players, Now, of course, in games like GTA 5 and Red Dead, or, even some other games, like, you'd be against AI, in online as well. But yeah, you'd mainly be, like, facing against other players. Now, thing about story mode games, I like them. I liked, Spider-Man, both the first Spider-Man game on PS4 and Spider-Man Miles Morales, which played on my PS5. Now, both of them games are good, they have good stories. I've done a few side missions, at least on the first game. I didn't play, I mainly played through the main story, Miles Morales, which was, was kind of short, yeah. But yeah, essentially, they were both good. Now, I could play them both again, and again and again and again. But the thing is, that could get a bit repetitive, Like, because, you know where everything is, you know what to do all the time, Not really much of an exciting experience after you've played it, so many times. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, you could, like, spice things up a bit, you could, choose a different path, in, like, that might not be the case in Spider-Man, but in many other games where, you choose a path, like an option, dialogue option, or anything like that, to do one thing, but not the other, you could do that, Now, one game where I've really, like, played a lot, like a story mode, there's no real online mode, but it's story mode I've played a lot and a lot and a lot, Super Mario Odyssey. And yes, there's Balloon World online mode, but it's kind of not the same way. But yeah, I played that a lot, and I pretty much know where all the power moons and all the purple coins and where everything is. I know everything. So yeah, it would kind of be weird, well, not necessarily weird, but, after a while it can feel repetitive, because, like, I know where everything is, like, it don't feel like a fresh new experience, and that's the kind of thing with story mode games. I feel like, they're good, but, there are very few which I feel like have replay value, unless, in the game there's something different you can do, like a different choice you can make to, like, kind of change the playthrough. That's kind of what you should do, like, in Super Mario Odyssey, you can choose which kingdom to go to first. Now, that's not really that much, but, some things, maybe way, way different, Yeah. So that's kind of a story mode thing, With online mode, it can be repetitive. Like, definitely, Some games, offer matchmaking. Some games, like, what I'm playing in the background right now, offers free mode, where you could just, ride around. Like Red Dead and GTA. You know, you got online, you got the online map, you know, which is the same as the story mode map, except everything's discovered for you. And, you know, it's good, you can, like, you know, go all around the map, you know, and it's all good, you know. Or it could be like a game like, you know, COD or Rocket League. I've been playing Rocket League recently on my Switch because, you know, some games on my PS5 which are downloaded take up way too much space. So, yeah. And that's good, but yeah, game like that can feel kind of repetitive because it's constant matchmaking, you know. But what keeps it good? What keeps people still playing is probably the consistent updates and new things they add. That's the thing I like about online games, you know, how, yeah, even though they can feel repetitive, you know, like, still, there are things like updates and being added and shite, you know, that kind of thing. Now, there's also, yeah, the leveling system, like the ranking system to keep people playing, like, every time, you know, you, like, play, you know, you get XP and you rank up and you do that kind of shite, you know, that's what you do. And, you know, there's, like, you know, more of a purpose to play if that's, you know, a reason, you know, try and get, you know, a higher level and shite. And as I said before, stick around for like new updates and shite. Like there's season type systems in some games, which many games do now, and the battle pass. Yeah, that kind of thing. So that's the kind of thing of online mode. Now, there is, you know, there are some games, you know, which, you know, probably don't offer an online mode but offer a single player story, and some which offer online, not single player. Maybe not, you know. Well, there are, you know, a few. I think there is a few, but I just can't recall some. But yeah, essentially, you know, real question is, which is better? Which do I think is better? Personally, I prefer both, you know. I think, you know, a game which I know is being updated, where I know, like, there's always something to do. There's, like, daily challenges on, you know, like Red Dead, COD Warzone, and Rocket League, you know. Well, not daily challenges, there's weekly season challenges on Rocket League, or whatever you call them. But yeah, that's kind of a thing to keep me playing, you know, like every day, you know, like I just, if I've got nothing else to do, you know, just play the game for the daily challenges. That's kind of a thing I do. And, you know, for new games which may come out, you know, story mode, you know, like play through the campaign and shit, you know, that's kind of a reason for me to keep playing, you know. Now, there are also some games which aren't necessarily story, but are also kind of like single player and multiplayer, and that's kind of like the sandbox games like Minecraft or Terraria or Ark, you know, which could count as like, you know, single player story, but you could also count it as, you know, multiplayer because you can invite your friends and shit, you know. Yeah, not really talked about them, but yeah, they kind of have replay value, you know, in their own sense because, you know, there's a lot of shit to do, you know, like almost endless possibilities. Yeah. So, really, both are good, you know. I hope throughout 2022 there's some decent games going to be coming out, you know. Like, you know, decent story mode games, or even decent online games, you know. Like, anything like that, you know. Like, for Ark 2, hope to get that when that comes out, you know. Hope to get an Xbox Series X, you know, for that, you know. I don't have like an RTX 3090 or anything. I don't think, you know, like anything's going to... I don't think Ark 2 is going to come out on the PS5, you know, at least not anytime soon, you know. God, I was struggling to speak there. But yeah, you know, I'm really hyped for that. I'm really hyped for, well, not really hyped for anything. I'm hoping for E3 2022. I'm hoping a Super Mario Odyssey 2 will come out, because I like story mode games. I like online games. Both have, you know, some sort of repetitive element, you know, if you play them, you know, over and over and over again. But there's still always something worth, you know, like to keep coming back to playing. You know, story mode, you got like, you know, different experiences, like different, you know, choice in playthroughs. Some do have that, some don't. And then online, you know, you have like daily challenges and shit to keep you invested, or, you know, constant updates, you know. Even in some story mode games, there might be story mode DLC, or, you know, you might find some replay value in playing the campaign over and over and over again. There's always a reason to keep playing for both story and online games. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, you know. Hope this wasn't too long a video. It's been like nearly, you know, 9.5 minutes. But yeah, I might end it off here. Hope you all enjoyed, and yeah, see yous.